I know a lot of y'all are making phone calls, and I just want to give y'all a little perspective. A good reminder, some stats can balance out that emotional roller coaster I hear a lot of y'all are on. So silence is normal in the support raising process. I met with a real estate guy, and he was a wholesaler, and he was like, "Man, I was making calls." It's like, "Man, how many calls do you normally make?" And people pick up. It's like most time people don't pick up. Got to leave voicemail. It's follow up. So it's not just in the support raising world, y'all. It's in sales. It's in everything that when people picking up the phone, they're reaching out to people. So let's not over spiritualize this. Like most time people call you, you don't even pick up. So I just need us that the silence is normal in the world that we live in. So um, most calls don't go unanswered, and about 70 to 80% of them say, "Hey man, that's going straight to the voicemail." So this is a conversation of what do I do when I know most people ain't picking up. So that's it. This is just a good reminder for you guys on what we're doing. So the math, 5% of your outreach. The first time you reach out to them, that's the success rate, 5%. So going into the phone calls and thinking that you about to call your grandma, she gonna pick up, and then you about to call your teacher that you ain't seen in 15 years and she about to pick up, that's just not realistic, y'all. I mean, this is a numbers game and we got to understand the math. If you make 20 calls, you should be excited that one person picked up. Like that's just perspective right there. So don't don't get it twisted. Most people are not gonna pick up. Oh, I do want to do crack down on a lot of y'all. It's like, what the heck are you nervous about? Like you just don't want to work because it's not about like somebody picking up the phone and saying they don't want to talk to you. They just not gonna pick up the phone. So, like make the calls, put in the work because this is a process. It's not guaranteeing that they're gonna even pick up. Most of them are not gonna pick up reminding us, pray for courage. Like pray that God make you bold. Like pray for clarity of your vision of what God is calling to you and your calling. Pray for obedience, guys, and pray for open hearts. Like those are the four things that I'm consistently praying before I even pick up the phone. Because man, I just want to be bold. All of us are trying to go into ministry. You want to know what ministry mostly is? You being bold, stepping out of your comfort zone, talking to people. That's a good minister. That's a good missionary. Somebody that's bold enough to come out of their world and go into somebody's world and talk to them. So if I'm not willing to pick up the phone and do that, like man, I'm not building that muscle to actually do it when I get into the mission field in reality. So view this as the ministry, view this as developing you, view this as an opportunity for you to become who God is calling you to do. But also the pressure, it rapidly decreased when you realize my job is just to be obedient to God and his job is the results. So God, if you want him to pick up, let him pick up. If you don't want to pick up, don't let him pick up. But I'm going to make the call. I'm going to be obedient to what I'm called to do. So that's a reminder. But I do want everybody to get this. Like, you never hang up quietly. Like, most of the time, it's gonna be ring, 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 ring. You have reached. Don't leave a voicemail if they say their voicemail is already full and you get that beep and it already hang up. Can't leave a voicemail. Like that's cool, but we leave voicemails when you can leave voicemails because whether they listen to the voicemail or not, it communicates, man, I am serious about getting contact with you. That's what it does. So, and we're talking about something short, simple, 20 seconds. Hey, it's Tony. I was reaching out to reconnect and tell you what God has been doing in my life. I'll shoot you a text, but also more importantly, I just want to connect, grab a cup of coffee, or grab a meal together and conversate about how God is moving. That's your voicemail. You're gonna say the same thing every time. So don't waste that opportunity. Once you get so nervous, you start sweating and you call somebody and you don't leave a voicemail, you know what's more than likely is going to happen? You're going to have to call them again. The voicemail decreases the odds of you having to call them again because if they see you serious or they might call you, they might text you back. But if you don't do this, you're going to repeat that same process that you don't enjoy over and over and over. But follow up. This is where the magic happens, guys. 80% of the connections that you're gonna get is gonna happen after you reach out to them about 6 times. So just get that. That's like my first call is just part of the process to me get a hold of them. I know I gotta call them at least 7 times. Just put in your mind, 7 times. I gotta call them before I ain't even worried about them picking up. So I'm calling voicemail text. But I call, I follow up, I call, I follow up. So every 4 days, you're reaching out to them. Like every 5 business days, like you're reaching out to them. So just understand it's not being annoying. It's good leadership. It shows that you're serious. If you want somebody to convince somebody to go into this presentation that you're serious about what God is calling you to, but you're not willing to call them a few times, Man, it's hard for me to believe that you're serious. And I got a lot of people, y'all. I'm being real. I mean, and as long as I've been alive and been in ministry, there's a lot of people that'll call me and send me an email. They'll call me one time. They'll never follow up. Never follow. You want to know what? It must not have been that big of a deal. They must have got fully funded because they never even called me back. They must have really didn't want to meet with me. I know they said on their voicemail that they want to meet with me, but they didn't even call me back to even try to meet with me again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just shows that you're serious. It shows good leadership too. Silent is a not yet, y'all. Don't even go in the tank emotionally like, oh my gosh, they don't want to talk to me. They didn't pick up. Man, most people busy. Like we live in a busy world. They busy, y'all. So they're not ignoring you. They probably in a meeting and they probably have 4 or 5 other people call them in that hour meeting too. So just and then they don't call you back because they forgot. They meant to reply. I'm assuming the best, and it's the world we live in is more likely true. And they need time to think about it. It's not a yet. It's just not yet. You know, when people don't want to meet with you, they let you know. And I know a lot of y'all, y'all know the people like, yeah, they made it super clear they want nothing to do with me. But if a person don't say that, I mean, they're probably busy. You just not at the top of their list. They got 1,000 things to think about. You keep calling, you keep moving up the list. You start at 1,000, you make it up to 800, you make it up to 500, you make it up to 200, you make it up to the top 25 things that's important in life. Like every call, you're just moving up in light of priority in somebody's life. So we got to be persistent. We can't assume the negative things when ain't nobody saying nothing negative. Y'all got to track it. The tracking actually is helpful. But like if we know that it's gonna take me a process of probably 6 to 10 calls, hypothetically, I need to track where I'm at in this process. I'm not expecting them to pick up until about call 6. But if I start tracking all of this stuff in my mind, that's overwhelming, y'all. Like who who did I call 2 weeks ago? I can't tell you. I genuinely can't tell you. Like we making one call a day, I can tell you I called 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'm loading my brain up with unnecessary information. But if I put it in the tracker, I can see, oh, I'm only at call 4. I got about 2, 3 more calls before I need to be worried about this person. So let's track everything. This has been the steward of all the hard work you're doing, but also just being a good person that can track and see the results of how God is moving anyway. So make sure you're writing it down. And I do think it erases stress, probably more than anything, to be honest, y'all. So your job is obedience. Pray, pick up the phone, dial, leave a voicemail, text message, and then track it. And we follow up. Don't overthink it, y'all. We created the trackers for y'all to actually know where you at in the process and on to the next conversation and the next phone call. Don't beat yourself up because somebody didn't pick up the phone. And they probably busy. You call, leave your voicemail, send a text message, and move on to the next person. You're just planting seeds to get that meeting that you really desire. So that's mostly what we want to talk about today. I need y'all to know until you call somebody 7 times, don't even don't even feel some type of way. Until you get to 7, it's just part of the process. They talk about this in relationships all the time. Expectation is like when you have it up here, and then when people fall short of your expectation, that gap in between is where the tension. If you set your expectations really high in the support raising thing, like, oh man, it took me 10 times to get support of somebody. If you set that after 7 times, you call somebody to pick up, you be like, oh man, dude, that was great. Thank you so much. But if you set the expectation at one call, I'm gonna call somebody, you're gonna be frustrated a lot, y'all. So call, leave that voicemail, send that text message. I'm saying this over and y'all say, Tony, keep saying it. I know y'all all not doing that though. I know y'all not. Like, it's no way for me to absolutely track it, but I know y'all not doing it. But if you're skipping a voicemail, if you're skipping a text message, you're wasting opportunity. And you're putting yourself in a position that you're going to have to do it again. It decreases the chances of having to call them back when you leave your voicemail and send a text message because then they can respond to your text and be like, you did call me. So any insights from your own personal experience you would like to share?